Hi guys, today we've come to a research center. I'm not gonna say what's being researched here because otherwise it would be too easy to find the location. But anyway, I'm gonna show you what's left around here. This was probably the laboratory. Because it had a laboratory, and we think it was this part here, since there are syringes and other lab stuff around here. System for collection and transport of fluids from clinical samples. Lepas. This. Here's a car radio, but I don't know why it's here. And these boxes here, but they're all empty. They just have corks inside. The cold storage rooms. They're over here. A bunch of beers and wines. They stored quite a lot of furniture here. They moved out and left several things here. And they probably took what they needed with them. That's it. Look. Emergency eye wash. That's why I know the lab was here. This is typical for laboratories. Well, if something falls on you or whatever, you can take it off quickly, as fast as you can. In case of emergency, of course. I believe the laboratory's main focus was here. It doesn't look like anything else. There are some of these jars around here. The dishes that are left here. Rono cream. Damn, they used to come here. I've looked into what they came here for. Alright, let's continue. Look, one of the few signs left. Classroom 3. I think there used to be more chairs here. Yes. No, and up here is where the teacher would stand, and so on. All this area down here would be for the students. It seems so. Let's keep going. This is the first floor. Let's go. And here they've destroyed quite a lot. If you look closely, almost everything on the floor is glass, and now I'll explain why. Another bathroom. A small storage room. That's why the glass is there. They remove the windows, break the glass, and take the aluminum from the frame. That's why there are so many pieces of glass here. Broken everywhere. They're removing all the glass panels. I guess this must be an auditorium. This is the coolest thing around here, at least this is what I like most, this right here. It's cool. This is where they'd give their talks. Look, this is an education, food and nutrition program booklet. It's a small book. If you didn't want to read, it had slides you could look at. See? I guess it was more aimed at kids. Here's a computer that's left. Just the monitor, the computer isn't here. And a film, which I think was 8 millimeters. It really looks like it. Look, there are more movies up there. Let's see, which way do we go? This way. Look. Let's see if it could move away from something. No, just there. It's only back there. That's it then. I think it was one of those that increased the size. Look, there are more over there. I guess it was to make it bigger. Look at all the movies there are here. In Engrase del Tractor. Guerra del Naranjal. Look at this. These are the diploma pages. The diploma sheets. I'll photograph it and show it in the video. Let's go look somewhere else. Classroom 1. The blackboard and everything are still here. It would have been cool if there was still a formula or something left. Yeah, go on. The eraser for the board. I guess maybe that too. Yes. Third B. Look at this. It would be the library they had here. Station A. The iris remote is still here and everything. It still doesn't work. Wow, there are a ton of books everywhere. Mostly magazines. Of course, a slide file cabinet. But there are no slides. This place is huge. Look, I think we've seen this before. It's a bug zapper, but they probably made it themselves. But it looks like a bug zapper, right? I think so. Ah, of course, right there. How do you put it? How? From 2011. Let's see here. Look, more slides, not that. It's a cow. It's eating. Let's see, let's take a look. It's a sheep, you can't call it a cow. You can't see it well. Let's see here. I'm holding something in both hands. We can't see it well. A phone. There are no more papers. Let's continue. This part here is really cool.